And so we got in the studio and ran with it, and it was a blast, and I'm really glad we did it. And the idea was, well, we didn't really have a firm plan, but we figured what would happen was writing this new record, it would kind of integrate that chill semi-acoustic sound with the heavy sound, sort of like Led Zeppelin 4, I guess. Is that the one?
Led Zeppelin 3.
3. That one.
Where like one side is kind of heavy, the other side is kind of acoustic, but there's elements of both integrated.
Yeah.
So like A and B sides.
We kind of thought that's what would happen, and
just naturally, you know.
Really, it kind of went the other direction.
The other way, yeah. Yeah, and so tell us about, we're going to do Polly Jean. So let's talk about that song. What's your thought process behind that?
Well, most of the songs I write start off as a riff, and then I start getting ideas for words and melody lines and whatever else, hooting, hollering on top of the riff. And we need more hoots and hollers.
Some grunts, too.
Yeah, some grunts.
Yeah, we need a few of those.
I used to do...
Next record is all hoots, hollers, and grunts. That's the name of the record, actually.
Hey, there you go. You came up with it.
So anyway, so I'm banging around ideas. We had come up with this idea tour before last, I guess it was, this riff, and we were kind of knocking it around. And to me, it sounded like a PJ Harvey, early PJ Harvey song. And whenever I'm writing, if I hit a brick wall or just want to take a break from writing, that's usually where I go, is PJ Harvey, to listen, to just get, because her writing is so out of the out of normal parameters for me. It's like just cool. So yeah, I just took her as an inspiration, and
I love it. Yeah. I love that song. The whole album, I mean, I'm stoked about this. Now it comes out September 8th, right, for the public?
Yep.
So are there pre-sales? Are you guys doing pre-sales at all? Do you know?
That is a question that we do not have the answer to.
You're like, hey, man, we just play the music.
It's possible we'll have copies for sale at any shows we play prior to September 8th.
That is possible, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've just been bogged down with, we have a big tour coming up. And
I know.
And so some of these details kind of get lost.
And you guys really haven't been on tour for a while, and you're going to be going with Local H out on the road. Is that right?
Yeah.
So do you know those guys? I mean,
yeah.
Very cool.
I did a tour with them in the Burden Brothers, and we've done shows with them before. They were on our Dia de los Toadies festival year before last. Yeah, year before last in Fort Worth. So yeah, good guys, and it's going to be fun, man.
Oh my God, are you guys stoked?
Oh yeah.
Because, I mean, now it's like, from 27 years ago, things have changed, families and stuff like that. So now going on tour, I'm thinking it's probably not going to be the same, but beer drinking going on, right?
A little bit, probably a lot.
It's going to be a lot.
Oh, we don't drink anymore.
Oh, right.
Nor do we drink any less.
Yeah, there you go. I've been to your shows. Come on now. Okay, so you guys open up with When I Die.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like straight out of the gate, boom.
Yeah, that's the song I was referencing,
Yeah.
but I neglected to mention the song title.
I knew what you were talking about, but people might not. They're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking? Yeah, I'm used to it though. That's kind of my go-to in conversations. What the hell is he talking about?
That's why we love you, though, man. And then we do a lot of, we've been playing on the Eagle, Broke Down Stupid. And so I was reading about, that's kind of, you were referring to past demons, maybe?
Yeah, that's really an older song. We wrote that when we were, it's been around for a while. It was when we were in just a flurry of writing for what became the second Toadies record. And I don't know, it was never one of my favorites because it's not my favorite story to tell about myself, because that's an actual story about myself. And so the guys finally convinced me to let us record it, and so we know it. It's like we've been playing it forever. So
is it like
really
standing out there naked? Now
Kinda.
Now everyone's gonna know.
Kinda. You know when that one time when you got super drunk and puked out of a moving car and then pissed off all your friends.
Oh yeah.
And then had to apologize to everybody the next day. There you go.
That's that song for you.
So I get to relive that over and over and over.
In front of thousands of people. In front of thousands of people. And then Take Me Alive. Talk about that song.
This record has some actual bona fide Toadies love songs, and that's a bona fide Toadies love song.
I'm telling you, people are gonna dig. I'm telling you, this whole album, I'm really impressed.
Oh, thanks. That's another one that we came up with the main driving riff on the road, and it was just fun to just stand there on that one chord, and that's what most of that song is, and it's a fun song to play too.
So, how like these days? I mean, because the other guys live out of state, right?
Well, out of town.
Out of town.
Donnie
One
lives,
out of state, and one lives in Amarillo.
which is sort of out of state.
Yeah. No one
know what I'm talking
wants me
about.
there.
Different state.
Man, when you're driving in, it's like you're on a conveyor belt. Your car just keeps going.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we're not getting there.
Yep.
But so and this is with a lot of bands, you guys aren't in the same spot. So when it comes to writing music or playing, how do you guys do that?
Well, that's how we started just coming up with ideas on the road and during sound check, and just banging out ideas. And I do a lot of writing at home. But the last 3 records, including this newest one, I've had like some songs that are completed at home, but the majority of the record is just ideas or threads or riffs or whatever. And then we get in pre-production, which pre-production is just a fancy word for rehearsal.
Yeah.
And so we sit there and just bang these ideas around with the recorder running and just like, what about this for a chorus? Boom, there it is.
Sometimes somebody would remember, hey, remember at sound check in such and such a town, and did we record that? So everybody will look through their phones to see if there's a recording, and oftentimes there is, and we'll say, yeah, I kind of remember that. So we relearn the riff, and then it kind of takes off from there. And
And I'm sure you guys have such great chemistry. And I mean, your fan base is amazing. When you guys were playing the last show, I mean, that was at Toyota Stadium, you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and what was greatness is like, because we had 2 stages, and everybody from the far stage starts coming because, here Toadies on stage. And I mean, you guys have such a great following.
We have
I mean,
a great
you
fan
really
base,
do.
for sure.
You do. And so, and it's always a party. Like, even if you don't drink, you're going to feel like you need to. So we are so stoked. I'm telling you, you guys are going to love this album. Once again, it's called The Lower Side of Uptown. Now, talk about Mama Take Me Home.
That one is also kind of a relic from the past, that we had the bones of that song forever ago, and I could just never find a place for it lyrically, like what do I wanted to do with it. And I knew what I wanted to do with it, but I just couldn't figure out how to find words to make that happen. And so we just started banging it around, and part of doing this for so long is learning how to go, shut the hell up to that guy over here going, that's not good, do this,
Yeah.
and just letting things come out of me. Some of these songs just kind of spilled out right onto page without hardly any editing,
Wow.
And and some of my favorite stuff I've ever done is like that. It's just learning how to turn off that you can't do it voice and just go. But that's another example of that. It's just,
It's just let it go.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fun song, and it's a cool song to play, but I was so frustrated because I couldn't get the words for it. So.
Well, and then another song that I really like is You Know the Words.
Uh-huh.
I really like that song a lot, too. And now, was that on an episode?
I got contacted by This American Life
Yeah.
to do some music for a piece they were doing, and so I just kind of, it was based on some audio that they had sent me,
Oh, okay.
and so so I just kind of took the audio, and it was just a girl talking about her boyfriend and stuff, and so I just kind of listened to it and got ideas and wrote some riffs and mailed it off, and they were thinking, we would like more up or more whatever, and so I just cataloged all these riffs. They're in my laptop, and then eventually they used something totally different. But that was a fun experiment. It's always fun finding new ways to write.
Yeah.
I've never written that way, so it's
Well,
pretty
I'm
cool.
telling you, this whole album surprised me, but yet it didn't, because there are certain things that I'm like, yes, but wait, what's this? What? I love it. And Keep Breathing.
Oh yeah. That was one of the last ones that I wrote words to. That one of the last songs chronologically in the tracking. Yeah, that's kind of we don't do politics here in Toadies land, but occasionally
It slips in.
sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you like last November, you go, holy crap, what is going on?
What happened?
What happened? And I kind of lost my mind for like a month. I just couldn't not believe it. And every day I wake up, I still can't believe it.
I know.
So that's what that song is about. Just occasionally, just step back, take a breath, and we'll just carry on.
Well, and you know what's funny? Even Dave Grohl, off his newest album, he when he heard that somebody had won, he had to do a song too, right? Because it's like, yeah, just you want to run away, but keep breathing. Keep breathing, man. That's all we can do, right?
Yeah.
And then I love the remake you guys did of "I Put a Spell on You."
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh,
That was a blast.
so cool.
That's another one that the guys have been for several years have been trying to get me to wrap my head around, and I'm like, I can't do that guy. I mean that
You did it.
Screaming Jay. It's like
Y'all did it.
yeah. I mean I just that's such a trademark song. I don't, some songs I just don't want to touch, you know what I mean? And finally we learned it, and I figured out how to put my own fingerprint on it vocally, and the guys tore it up. And then we got to have some guests on that song that just made, sometimes you hit a career thing, and it's not like people saw it happen, but you're just like, I finally got here.
Yeah.
And this one was one of them. We got to have horn player from Black Joe Lewis and the Honey Bears, the Hard Proof Horns.
Oh, wow.
He played sax. And we brought in Greg Raleigh for keys. And Greg Raleigh was a founding member of Santana and Journey.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is right.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Bona fide rock star guy.
Wow.
And so we got to hang out with him and just hell yeah.
That's cool.
We got to perform live in Austin, perform live on stage with them, and
that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really. Oh, I'm telling you, I played it for some people in my family, and they're like, "What? Oh my God!" I mean, I can't keep saying enough. I mean, I'm really impressed. I'm excited about this album. It's coming out September 8th.
We're really happy with it. Yeah.
Yes, and let's talk about Dia de los Toadies.
Yay!
We had to work on that like 10 times, guys. My Spanish is not that good. But okay, so yes, when is it? And it's going to be at Possum Kingdom.
It is September 16th, and it's the 10th annual.
Yes, and it's always a good time. I'm going to definitely be at this one. So what do we have in store?
It's going to be nuts. We had the first Dia de los Toadies at Possum Kingdom, and it got a little out of hand.
No.
We had maybe too many people there, so they kind of didn't want us to come back ever. So it took us 10 years to wear them down, and they're going to have us back.
That's going to be cool. And you can get tickets, right?
Yeah. You can buy tickets now. And we're going to have 2 stages, tons of bands. Local H will be direct support. It's going to be kind of a lot of bands from over the years, from other
cool.
Dia de los Toadies, like our favorites that we could pick. And the thing is, we handpick all these bands, and that was the genesis of the whole idea of doing our own festival. Was we love doing the Edge Fest and all this stuff, but what if we could do a festival that was maybe smaller, but we handpick everybody, and that would. And so we tried it, and it's been a blast, and people love it. So
yeah, and that is September
16th.
Yeah. Yes, and so I noticed now you might not know this. Because you guys are in going on tour mode, but that you can get regular tickets or you can get the VIP experience.
That's right.
So, you do know that then.
I do that.
Good. They told you
I remember that
okay.
one.
So what would the VIP experience be?
That is, see that part we don't know. No, we I believe it includes. We get to meet people and stuff like that, so that's cool. And I think they might include a acoustic performance or something like that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So there's
the seating or something is
better.
Get a better view.
Yeah.
When you sing that one song in all your glory, feeling naked, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We should just send you out in a loincloth and do that song.
Just walk out. Okay.
So I have to ask before we wrap it up. I mean, you guys have been. I mean, Fort Worth, Texas. You know, Texas loves you. Tons of people love you, but we feel like you're our hometown, man. You're Fort Worth.
Yeah, yeah.
27 years. I remember seeing you. Gosh, when I shouldn't have even been in clubs. And how has it changed the music? How through the years? How has the music industry changed for you?
Oh, geez. You mean in Fort Worth or just in general?
Just in general. I mean,
There's a lot more DIY than there was when we got started. It was just the model of how you get a record contract and go on tour that's gone away for the most part, as far as I can tell. The way labels are structured and the way management is structured, and it's become a lot more of the. It's always been true. The more you do yourself, the better off you are. But for a while there in the 80s and 90s, it was no. Let's work together, and then we'll all do well. As some guy in an office in LA, way better than any of us. But anyway, so yeah, that kind of model just kind of has gone away for the most part.
yeah.
I'm sure it still exists in one form or another, but it's great because it's, learning how to do all the stuff, learning how to, figure out a festival and,
Yeah.
do all
And
this.
you're doing it.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah, you guys are doing it.
it's been a good learning curve.
And then I had a guy that's in a band and he's a big fan of y'all's and he wanted to know, what would you tell someone who's starting out, and they're from Fort Worth as well, getting in the music scene, like, getting how to become like you guys.
I would say if you're in Fort Worth, rehearse at the Loop. I just opened a rehearsal studio with my wife in Fort Worth.
Did you really?
Yeah.
The Loop.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, we're in Fort Worth.
It's over on the south side, over
Okay,
off 35 in
nice.
Rosedale. Yeah.
Hey, there you go. Are you kidding me? Now you're going to get so much business. It's going to be blowing out. The Loop. Right on. Cool.
But no, I would say get out of town. I mean, Fort Worth's a great town. Dallas is a great town. But this is what I say to anybody from anywhere is if you play in your hometown, you'll have all your friends come out and their friends will come out and you'll have a big crowd, probably, if you're good. But if that's all you do, then eventually it goes away.
It
And
burns
you just
out.
and because, they can see you every weekend. But and also your creativity is stagnant with that. If you get out in front of people who don't care who you are, that's when you really learn how to do your trade.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you got to fight to win them over instead of a ready-made crowd of your mom and dad and all your friends and cousins and stuff. These are people that don't know you, don't know your music, so you got to win them over, and that's really ultimately what you got to do to be successful.
Yeah, and just in a lot of parts of life.
Get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, get out of your comfort zone. And like Donnie put it once, just book a show where you can drive there and come back in the middle of the night and just do that. And it doesn't matter if you get paid, just go do it and then come back and keep doing that. And then you'll find yourself going a little further each time, and then you can stay, and then you can go a little bit further. And so it's a good work ethic.
Well, guys, okay, so stay out of your comfort zone, kids. Become a rock star. All right, I got to ask one more question, and then we will wrap it up. But out of all the albums you've done, because this is your 7th album, which one has been your favorite to do?
Always the one I'm working on.
Oh, this is the best one out of all of
that's
them?
not a lie. That's true. That's for me personally. It's fun to get in, and especially within the last 3 or 4 records, we're doing more writing on the spot, and the first record and the second one, we had to have it locked down because before we went in the studio, just because that's the way we operated, and we don't want to waste time in the studio, you know. So, and now it's like we want to waste time in the studio. That's creating stuff. That's what that is.
Yeah.
So
Really wasted.
no, it's not wasting at all. So yeah, it's been every record. It is always something I find, like that Greg Raleigh moment, or a song like When I Die, that just kind of pops out onto the page or onto tape or whatever, and those are like, this is why we got here. This is what I'm doing here now. This is great,
I know. I would love to be able to get into your mind because it's so like. I think it's so twisted, but it's not. That's why I love it. Okay, so the Lower Side of Uptown. Their 7th studio album. It comes out September 8th. And then Dia de los Toadies. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got to go. Ah! That is September 16th, right?
That's right.
Possum Kingdom. Well, you guys, thank you so much. 97.1 The Eagle has been a huge supporter ever since
I know.
you guys
I know. We appreciate
started,
it.
way before I was even here. So, you know, we love you guys. Thank you for coming up. And I'm telling you guys, you're going to love, love, love Toadie's new album, September 8th.
Yep.